Okay.
So now how do we access the DRAM? So there is a CPU. It sends information to the memory controller. Memory controller then sends information to the DRAM. How does it do? It first sends the address and the read row address strobe. Then it sends the address and the column address strobe. When it sends the column address strobe and the address, the information from the sense amplifiers comes to the data in out buffers. This is then sent back to the memory controller, and then that is sent back to the CPU. So if you look at it in terms of timings, so there is this first timing called row command delay, TRCD, which means the row decoders were activated, memory was the bit lines discharged, and something was latched onto the sense amplifiers. Then you do Tcas, in which the memory controller sent the address to the column decoder, and then the sense amplifier sent back the output to the memory controller. That is Tcas. Trac is equal to Trcd plus Tcas. Are you able to see this? Any questions? Because RAC meant when you gave the row address strobe to the time when the output was available on the output bus. That means TRCD plus TCAS. Then you need to give some time for pre-charging of the bit line. Let us say that is Tpre. So this pre-charging of the bit line happens after TRCD or TRAS, and therefore the next row command can be given after bit lines have been pre-charged. So TRAS plus Tpre, that is TRC. This is also called as row cycle time. Is it okay? Is it clear till here? Any questions? Okay, no questions. So we've looked at multiple timings until now, TRCD, TCAS. So this is the time which is the shortest time. Do you realize that this is the fastest that your DRAM can give output? So this is the time that is given, talked about in the ads, that this is the fastest DRAM that we have, and so on. TRC is something that embedded system designers and DRAM manufacturers know is important. And for a computer architect, you're not really bothered about when I can do the next row access. What you're bothered about is I had a miss. How quickly can you give the output to me? So TRAC is what is of interest to the computer architect there. Is that okay? Any questions?
So you said that recharge is done while reading only. Why is it a separate component here?
So pre-charge is done after the sense amplifier information has been given out, and you no longer need the sense amplifier output, है ना? तभी आप pre-charge शुरू कर पाते हो. So it has to be a separate component ना, मतलब RCD के अंदर तो नहीं आएगा ना वो.
हाँ, technically तो नहीं है. मुझे लगा ठीक है. Got it.
है ना? It cannot come in RCD. Okay. So in terms of latency, how much time it actually takes from the CPU to this, you will see that depending on what operation we are talking about, whether it is only CAS, column address strobe that is required, or row address strobe and column address strobe both required, or you need to access two different rows, therefore precharge also required. Based on that, E1, E2 or E3 will be used, but in reality, there will be lots of delays. First you will put transaction request into the queue, then it goes to the memory controller, then it goes to the command sequencer, then it goes to the command is sent to the DRAM, then DRAM takes its own sweet time, the ones that we talked about, and then all this information is sent back to the CPU. Do you now realize why access to the main memory could be of the order of microseconds or hundreds of nanoseconds? DRAM doesn't take that much time by itself, but there are so many additional transactions that need to happen that it takes a lot of time. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
So when you talk of a DRAM and performance of a DRAM, if you just focus on this part, it may not really change the system performance significantly. If you really want to improve the system performance, you have to look at all A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then see whichever is dominating and reduce those timings. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's just take one sample. वही जो हमने पहले sample लिया था. 60 nanoseconds is the TRAC. 110 nanoseconds is the TRC. Column is 15. Then time between column accesses is 35. But in practical, as we just said, there are so many other things that come into picture. This 15 goes to 40 to 50 nanoseconds. Okay? And then because IO का भी time आ जाता है, and then in reality, that 40 to 50 or whatever becomes 180 to 250 nanoseconds latency when it comes to the processor part. Is that okay? So that A, B, C, D, E, and F. So A plus B plus C plus D plus F is a huge amount. Could be anything between 120 to 180 nanoseconds. Whereas your memory TRAC is at 60. Is that okay?